You ready?
Yeah.
So it's kind of an end of an era, this. You've been involved in the club in a lot of different ways for a long time. People have seen the pictures of you as a kid, as a mascot, with the kits on when you were young and that. Have you been going back over this in your mind since this move's come about?
Yeah, a lot more than I thought I would, to be honest with you. Like, obviously growing up at the club, being one of the fans behind the goal, giving the keeper stick, but yeah, Mum digs out the photos all the time, Facebook memories, stuff like that, but to look back at them and see where I've come from, it's just, honestly, I can't thank everyone here enough for what they've done for me.
Do you remember a time when the club wasn't a part of your life at all?
If I'm honest, not really, because as you know, and most of the fans know, that my family's a big part of the club. My nan, my granddad being the kit man, stuff like that. Like, it's just a big part of my life. Like travelling to the away games and being a part of the team, which is a good thing.
And how was it for you then signing for the academy and going through that journey until you built up until making the first team?
It was a bit of a tough decision, to be honest, because as that academy piece come about, I was injured at the time. And I was out for about a year, so I was a bit like, do I stay here, do I go away? Because America was on the cards for a while, and obviously to go out there would have been a good experience, but I'm glad the path I've chose is to come through the academy and just to be at home a bit. But to come through the academy, to then play for the first team, it's honestly just a dream come true to be a big part of the club.
And then you made your debut, I think I'm right in saying, in a cup game in midweek, and then you came on against Staines in January of last season.
Yeah.
How was that, coming off the bench, getting onto the pitch for Basingstoke Town for that first time, do you remember?
If I'm honest, I was blowing out my arse, but just such a surreal feeling to hear my name in the crowd, like, and to just have that pat on the back by the gaffer after the game. It's just an unbelievable feeling that I'll just take with me till the grave.
And you've played a big part in a really big season just gone now. You'll have, I'm sure, some special memories of various points about that. You've got your first goal, of course, you scored that hat-trick as well.
Yeah.
A really good header, I remember, against Leatherhead. All those good memories for you personally, they must be the kind of things that you're going to carry with you a long time now.
Honestly, like, this was probably my first like breakthrough season where I felt confident on the ball, where I felt confident with my teammates. Like, to be in such a good changing room, it's honestly helped me a lot to create those moments.
Yeah, well, we've heard a lot from Dan Brownlee about the changing room, how important that is. There's a lot of experienced players in there. How much did they help you as well at this stage?
Unreal amounts. Like, as a youngster, being the youngest in the team, it's quite easy to get your head down when you don't get minutes or where you feel like you've played bad. But when you've got people like Dunny, Smarty, Scotty's played a big part, being very close to my family as well. Just to have them picking me up again, just so thankful for all of them.
And we often see when you score, you guys celebrate running over to your family. How important have they been in getting
without them, just none of this would have happened. Like, the amount of times I've travelled to games, Mum not being there, sometimes Dad not being there, obviously being in the forces, it's so tough for me, but they just keep me going. When I had that injury, I didn't want to play anymore. I wanted to give up with everything, but without them, I probably couldn't have done it if I was honest.
And with the season going the way it's gone, you've known there's been interest in you for a while. Has that interest sort of added to the feeling of going through this season and achieving something as you've gone on?
I love playing under pressure. So I'm very close to someone called Peter Chadwick, and he's like an agent, but a very close family friend as well. And I remember calling him the game before the hat-trick, and he was like, "Go get me a hat-trick." And he was like, "There's a couple clubs watching you, obviously, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Tell me who they are," because I was like, "I want to know. I want to use it like to my advantage." And next game, scored a hat-trick, and I was like, I bailed him back, and I was like, "You called it." But I just, like, that feeling of people watching, like, I feel like I play on it a lot more, where some people may crumble, but I use it to my advantage, use it as like an aggression sort of thing, and just play out my skin.
I want to take you back to that final game, South Park, when the final whistle goes. Obviously, you've just heard a minute before the cheers of the crowd going around the ground. How did that feel to know what had happened? I
was warming up, and I could hear people talking about it, and I was like jumping. And then obviously when they scored, like, my head went down, and I was like, oh no, obviously not a good feeling. But then to come on, and then when I heard it, I heard the roar. I've never heard the fans sing that loud, and they've got some voices on them. And to hear them sing that loud, I knew it. And to clear the ball as well, when that final whistle went, I cried. I literally sat on the floor, I can remember it, just off the 18-yard box, and I sat on the floor and I cried. Just such a good moment.
league champion, treble winner, does that feel like the best way to possibly go
I still
out?
talk about it now. I didn't take my medal off for about 3 days, but you can't really say that as a 17-year-old to be a treble winner with such a good side like Basingstoke.
And now, new chapter coming up, how are you feeling? Excited? Nervous?
Buzzing. I can't wait. Like, obviously it's a bit upsetting leaving Basingstoke, my home club where I grew up, but now it's time to work. Now it's time to push on and pursue my dreams, obviously.
Right, I know loads of us are going to be following you. I'm really excited to see how it goes.
I'll be back here soon, no doubt about that. Thank you.
You've absolutely smashed that. Well done.
That's not bad, is it?
That was good.
I'm well happy with myself.